Hey guys, Nikki here. Today I want to talk about saving time by buying services. And I'm going to walk you through 5 different ways that my family does this in the hopes that you will think about what ways might make sense for your family to save time by doing something similar. Not saying you should absolutely do what we do, just that these are options to get your mind going if you have the financial ability to invest in services. Let's get started. Also, if you enjoy content like this, please consider subscribing and dropping a like on this video. It really helps my channel grow. So the first service that we take advantage of, not every week, but sometimes, is wash and fold laundry service. I just personally tend to procrastinate on laundry. My husband does too. So this is kind of embarrassing. But when we lived in Chicago and we had a laundry room down on the bottom floor of our building instead of like a washer and dryer in unit, we had this giant laundry cart on wheels, and we would procrastinate for like 3 weeks or a month at a time in doing laundry. And we would wheel our giant cart downstairs, and I think our record was doing 8 loads of laundry at a single time. And it probably took me 2 or 3 hours to fold it all. I just like binge watched The Office. But anyways, we're not good at keeping up on our laundry. It's always been a struggle. So when we're having a week where we're both really stressed out about work, or we know we have family coming and we're trying to do other stuff around the house to get it ready, that is a great way to push off a chore that I hate doing. And it's something that it's really satisfying when I get the laundry back and it's totally done and folded. So I think it's really worth it. To give you an idea of price, our particular wash and fold place only charges $1 a pound, which I think is under market rate. Usually I think it's closer to $1.50 or $2 per pound. So the fact that it's really reasonable from a price standpoint is also appealing. Now, also to give you an idea of how heavy your stuff is if you don't have something that you can weigh your laundry basket with, we have these big vertical laundry baskets. I'll put a picture in the video here. Those are typically about 20 pounds when we fill it with normal clothes for us and our daughter combined. So I don't send over sheets or towels because I think they're just too easy to fold to justify having the wash and fold people do it. So typically each basket is around $20. So when I usually take 2 big baskets over, which is like, 3 to 4 loads of laundry, and it comes out to be like 40 or 45 bucks. So the second service that I'm a huge fan of is house cleaning. Now we try to clean up everything as we go, but realistically, our house, like many of yours, doesn't stay spotless. And that's where the house cleaner comes in. And she has eliminated our need to really do any sort of deep cleaning on our bathrooms, our kitchen. We just take care of the little things as we see them, which is really nice. We don't use our big vacuum in between her visits. We just have robot vacuums that run throughout the house once a day. We don't mop unless we spill something because she'll do that when she gets here. And it's a huge time saver. If you think about it, it takes our house cleaner who has like a set system. She's super efficient. It is her job, so she's gonna knock it out fast. 4 to 5 hours to clean our house. If we were doing that ourselves, let's say just I was doing it to make the math easier, it's probably gonna take me 7 to 8 hours to do that same work because I have a toddler running around behind me. I've got distractions that are happening. I'm just less efficient. I may not do it as well as she does. I may not have all the tools to do it as efficiently as she does. So it's gonna save us a lot of time and effort. And that's also time that we can spend doing other things that are important to us, like playing with our daughter on the weekend when we get the most time with her. So I think it's really worth it. And I am gonna plug a few YouTubers here who have some videos on keeping your house clean if you cannot afford a house cleaner. My Zimmy and But First Coffee, which is Callie Brancefort's channel, are really, really good for that. And there's many more out there. And they'll give you tips on how to stay on top of everything. But again, if I have the means to be able to outsource that and give myself back that time with my family, I'm gonna do it. Also, if you want a total deep dive on why I personally think a house cleaner is worth it for my family, I'm gonna link that video up here. It's one of the most popular videos on my channel, so I do think a lot of people find it helpful. So the third service that we use is a home warranty, specifically one that has to do with like major appliances and like systems in your house. So we are people that have very bad luck with appliances. In our last house, our dishwasher, our microwave, our garage door, and our dryer all had issues that we ended up using our home warranty to cover. And in this house so far, our microwave is broken. And last night, our AC unit for the main part of our house stopped working. So you might think like, what does a home warranty do in that situation? It basically gives you a central number that you can call and say, hey guys, I've got a problem. They're gonna dispatch the appropriate professional out to your house. You're gonna pay a service fee. Typically, I think the market rate is like 75 bucks for a visit. And then they cover the repair or the replacement if a replacement is actually needed. And then you're good to go. So for example, our microwave at our last house, we had to get entirely replaced. And I think it was like a $700 microwave. They give you one with similar features, like comparable to whatever you had before. Yeah, it's very convenient. It saves us at least an hour of research every time. And I think it does save us money because again, we're people that have bad luck with appliances. Now, I will warn you that if you do use your home warranty a lot, they will jack up your rate. And we did have to switch warranty companies after the first year in our townhouse because we had used it so heavily, but it's been really good for us so far. So the fourth service that I'm a big fan of is having a handyman. So there's a lot of things around the house that I'm able to fix myself. So like patching small holes in the wall from pictures and stuff. My husband installed our Nest thermostats himself. We do try to figure stuff out, but sometimes y'all, we get stumped. And I'll give two examples. At our old house, we had this sink drain stopper in my sink in our master bath. And I swear guys, I spent 2 years trying to get that thing to like hook on properly, and it would just fall into the sink and like block the drain. I could not get it to hook right to have it sit properly. So for 2 years, I just lived without it. And then I hired our handyman to fix it when we moved out for our renters. And once he had the right part, it took him like 30 seconds. And like, I didn't know what the right part was. Maybe I could have watched a YouTube video and figured it out. I don't know, but it saved me a lot of time and effort. And most recently, the pocket door for my daughter's bathroom had come off the tracks, and we were able to like get it back on the tracks, but it kept popping off. And it turns out he had to like pop the trim off of the door and then like get it all hooked in again properly and like do something else to it and then put the trim all back together and re-caulk it and all that stuff. We had tried for a while to fix that door and it just wasn't working. And sometimes it's easier to just give in and save yourself the extra couple of hours and the trips to Home Depot to figure it out and just hire someone. To give you an idea of price, I think the visits with him where we have him do like 1 or 2 things are typically around 80 bucks. And every time he's like, you could probably do this yourself. It's not that hard. And I'm like, but I have tried and I'm just getting stumped on it and I don't want to waste the time anymore. And I don't mind paying him to do it. So for us, it's been really handy to have a specific person kind of on call that we can use in a situation like that. So the fifth service that we use is someone to do our taxes. Oh my gosh, this was a game changer. So in 2020, my husband has always been an investor. I started investing right around when COVID happened because I knew the stock market was crashing and it would eventually come back up. So I was throwing money in. It was a great life decision. But anyway, we had a lot of investment accounts. We were moving states. Some stuff was off with our W-2s because of the whole state move. And we bought a house. And taxes were just complicated. And I think at some point I'm going to get audited because I think I screwed something up with those taxes. I did them like 3 times with TurboTax, got different numbers every time. Like it was weird. And I finally just said, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to hire someone to do this. There's professionals out there for a reason. We didn't want to use an H&R Block or someone that was just doing it seasonally. We really wanted to get someone that specialized in kind of financial management to do our taxes. So I reached out on Facebook, found a company that someone recommended, and they have been awesome. So for someone that's uncomplicated, like they don't have a lot of investment accounts or anything like that, I think they charge $300 now. For us, we paid $475 this year. But yeah, it saved me so many hours of like checking and rechecking numbers and checking for discounts that I didn't even know existed. They will also give you random advice, guys. Like, I'm gonna talk to my state of Georgia friends right now. Did you know that you could purchase tax credits from people in the film industry that will lower your tax liability? So for example, if they just haven't used enough of their tax credits, if you go through a broker, you can purchase $10,000 worth of tax credits at whatever rate they're using at the time. I think this year is like 97%. Next year it's expected to be better for the consumers. It's going to be like 92 or 93%. So for example, if it's 92%, you would pay $9,200 and receive $10,000 in tax credit from them that you can use towards your state taxes. And if your taxes are already paid because you did your allocations right, you just get a $10,000 check back in the mail. in exchange for the $9,200 that you paid the company up front. People don't know that. Like, how are you supposed to know that without a tax guy? I didn't know that. I mean, again, I think it's gonna save me money in the long run because like that already would have covered the price of what I paid for someone to do my taxes. So it's stuff like that that you just learn through people that specialize in these areas. And I am perfectly happy to pay someone to do my taxes in that situation and to help me figure out long term, how do I minimize my liability? Like, how do I maximize my deductions? All that good stuff. Also, if you're interested in learning more about how I got started in investing, I'm gonna plug one of my videos up here on the right. It just walks through my whole journey and the mistakes that I made along the way because I feel like it might be helpful for some of you who are just starting out. So the last service that I'm gonna plug is yard maintenance. So this was not an issue in our townhouse because our HOA covered everything outside of our unit. But in this house, we have a big yard that has a lot of landscaping that we wanna keep looking nice. We reached out to the person that my in-laws use to maintain their yard, and it costs us about $80 a visit. They come every 2 to 3 weeks. They'll mow the lawn. They will collect all of like the fallen sticks and pine cones and all of the other type of stuff. They'll blow our patio area clean and just do any other maintenance that we would normally have to do ourselves. And again, could we do it? Absolutely. But if it's taking their crew of like 3 to 5 guys, let's call it an hour to do our whole yard, that's gonna take us at least 3 to 5 hours. And that's if we have the right equipment and if we have a system down and we have the yard bags handy to put all the stuff in. So realistically, I think it would take us closer to 4 to 6, 5 to 7 hour mark to do that same job. And that's your whole weekend right there if it's just one person doing it. So we're able to enjoy a little bit more time as a family. Now, am I gonna start as Nora gets older, introduce her to doing some of that stuff ourselves? Yes, that is my plan. But it is nice to be able to outsource some of that, especially while she's so young, so that it's a little bit less stressful for us. So I hope this video helps you consider the services that might make your family's life a little bit easier. Again, there's services that other people take advantage of that we don't. Like, I love power washing stuff, so I just bought a power washer the other day. Some people hate doing that, and they'll just pay someone to do that work the once a year that they need it done. I'm really excited to do that myself. Every person is different in terms of the things that they value and the way that they enjoy to spend their time. So no hate if you are all about doing things yourself to save the money, but no shame in outsourcing certain things if you have the financial means to do so. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.